This week on SUTV News, scheduling is coming up and we're here to highlight some of the best calm during classes to take. And we give you a preview before tonight's presidential debate. All that and more right here on SUTV News. The Communication Journalism Department is getting ready for the upcoming semester with an average of 23 classes being taught in the spring. SUTV's Brianna Webb has more.
Here at Shippensburg University, our Communication and Journalism Department has all the classes that you need to fulfill your creative style this upcoming spring semester.
From digital storytelling to sports journalism, the department will be offering around an average of 23 classes for the spring semester. Classes like Introduction to Mass Communication, Feature Writing, and Basic Digital Photography are just a few that will be present. Some classes include hands-on experience with camera equipment, editing resources, and working closely with student-run organizations, such as Shippensburg University's television station, SUTV, and the university's radio station, WSYC. Some of the professors from the Communication Journalism Department share their intake on the classes they will be teaching next semester.
In spring 2021, I'm going to be teaching 2 courses.
I am teaching 4 courses during the spring semester.
I'm going to be teaching COM 111, which is Introduction to Mass Communication. As you remember, probably that's one of our first courses that you take as a COM major or minor. It's one of our very important gateway courses.
So one course that I'm teaching is the editing course, and that's a course that's part of the print and online media sequence. Then another course that I'm teaching is promotional publication design, affectionately known as promo pubs, and that is a course that is part of the PR sequence.
And then the second course I'm teaching is COM 425, which is feature writing. And that one is more magazine style writing. We don't have a lot of courses in the major that focus on that style of writing.
And then a third course that I'm teaching is actually a graduate course, and that is Applied Mass Communication Research. And that is a course for the students in our Comm Studies graduate program. And then the final course I'm teaching is a selected topics course called Social Media Strategy. And I'm really excited about teaching that.
For more information, log on to your MyShip portal and click My Academics, then browse classes to see the entire list for the department. Don't be afraid to ask your advisor about any classes you find interesting. You can also email the professor that will be teaching the class for further information. This is Brianna Webb, SUTV News.
Earlier today, Senate Republicans unanimously agreed to approve the nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett. SUTV's Cole McCowan has the latest.
After a long week of testimonies and questions from the Senate committee, Judge Amy Coney Barrett is moving on to the Senate floor. This decision by the committee will now send Judge Barrett to the Senate floor, where her fate will be determined on Monday, October 26th. Senate Democrats, in an attempt to block Amy Coney Barrett from moving into the Supreme Court, did not attend the hearing this morning and instead held a press conference. Senator Chuck Schumer and other Judiciary Democrats talked on about the nomination process and proclaimed that they would be boycotting the hearing on Monday.
This is not a decision the members of the committee have taken lightly, but a Republican majority has left us no choice. We are boycotting this illegitimate hearing.
In order for Judge Barrett to make it to the Supreme Court, she needs to receive a majority of the votes on Monday on the Senate floor. From SUTV News, I'm Cole McCowan.
Tonight marks the final presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden before Election Day. SUTV's Adam Beam has your debate preview.
It all comes down to this. Tonight will be the final presidential debate between President Donald Trump and former Democratic Vice President Joe Biden before Election Day on November 3rd. This is only the second presidential debate this year, as the previously scheduled debate was canceled due to the spread of COVID-19 in the White House and was instead replaced by 2 separate town hall events for each candidate. But the proper debate format is back, though there will be some major changes for tonight's outing. The biggest change to be made for this debate is that whichever candidate is not speaking, their mic will be muted so that the other may have their 2 minutes uninterrupted. This is clearly in response to the first presidential debate where interruptions were the biggest issue of the night, oftentimes leading moderator Chris Wallace to intervene.
Segment, we're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Vice President, no.
Can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
He stood up.
No,
he stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
threatened Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you don't get rid of the press.
You know what?
Absolutely
not
true.
You're going to have
true.
Gentlemen.
However, the mics being muted will only be for each candidate's opening 2 minutes. Following that, both mics will be turned on for a formal discussion. Speaking of moderators, this time around the debate will be moderated by NBC News White House correspondent Kristen Welker. It will be taking place at Belmont University in Nashville from 9 to 10:30 p.m. The debate will be running on all major news networks with no commercial interruptions and will consist of 6 15-minute segments with topics ranging from COVID-19 to climate change. Though already these topics are being feuded over by the Trump administration, demanding the debate focuses more on foreign policy. We're less than 2 weeks away from election night, and for many undecided voters, this debate could be the deciding factor in who they cast their ballots for come November 3rd. For SUTV News, I'm Adam Beam.
The FBI has announced that 2 foreign countries are interfering with the election here in the United States. SUTV's Jacob Hitz has more.
At 7:30 Eastern Time last night, the FBI called an urgent press conference to announce threats to the election. Here's the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, from the press conference.
We would like to alert the public that we have identified that 2 foreign actors, Iran and Russia, have taken specific actions to influence public opinion relating to our elections.
Emails have been sent to voters in Alaska and Florida threatening them to vote for President Trump or else, claiming to be from the white supremacist group, the Proud Boys. Ratcliffe says that Americans should know their votes are secure, but they should keep their guards up as we get closer to Election Day.
We will not tolerate foreign interference in our elections, and we will continue to work with our many partners to disrupt and to impose costs and consequences on any adversary that attempts to interfere in our democratic processes.
Following the press conference, Google announced that Iran may have targeted voters through Gmail, as they say 25,000 emails were sent targeting the election. Google states that 90% of the emails were stopped by spam filters, and they are cooperating with the FBI.
This just adds another layer to what is already a very dramatic election cycle. And don't forget, we'll be here with you through it all on election night. Myself and Adam Beam will be over there at the desk all night long with a rotation of folks right here, standing at the monitor. We'll have interviews with the experts, and we'll be getting opinions from people on campus all night long. Our live election coverage begins on election night at 7:30 Eastern Time right here on SUTV News. I'm Jacob Hitz, and now let's go back to Bailey Cassada at the desk.
Google has recently been sued by the Department of Justice for illegally protecting monopoly. SUTV's Nolan Hoffman has the story.
The Trump administration on Tuesday sued Google in what is the largest antitrust case against a tech company in more than 2 decades. In its complaint, the Justice Department makes sweeping allegations that Google has stifled competition to maintain its powerful position in the market for online search and search advertising. 11 states, including Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, South Carolina, and Texas, joined the suit, according to the complaint. The complaint targets a series of interlocking actions by Google that, as a whole, allegedly harmed competition and prevented rivals from gaining a meaningful audience. It comes right before an election in which tech platforms have been scrutinized for their impact on democracy and small business. Hanging over the case, too, will be President Donald Trump, who has been vocal in his criticism of tech platforms. Trump has repeatedly blasted Facebook, Google, and Twitter for allegedly systematically censoring conservative views, a claim the companies deny and for which experts have found no evidence whatsoever. Google has also faced antitrust scrutiny and numerous multi-billion-dollar fines from European regulators, punishments the company has indeed protested. With SUTV News, this is Nolan Huffman.
Next week marks the beginning of International Education Week. Celebrate with a variety of virtual and in-person events such as international karaoke and foreign language Jeopardy games. The dining hall will also be featuring foods from around the world. Dr. Sean Cornell will also be displaying the flags of student and faculty members' home countries. For the full schedule of this week, visit ship.edu/IEW. And finally tonight, a UK dad's adorable amateur pet portraits are raising thousands for charity. It all started when Phil Heckles drew a picture of the family dog. He posted the rendering to Facebook, jokingly offering to sell it for around $400. Heckles has since been overwhelmed with pet portrait requests from hundreds of pet owners. He now has a dedicated Facebook page under the pseudonym Hercule Van Wolfwinkle. He says he currently has a backlog of over 1,000 requests. Heckles doesn't charge for his work, instead suggesting customers donate to charity. His creations have raised more than $18,000 for Turning Tide's homelessness charity. And with that, we'll be signing off from this episode of SUTV News. I'm Bailey Cassada. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org. Have a great week, everyone.